Namaste Angels is the weekly reading. I forgot to take the dice out, so we're just going to jump right in with the cards. I'm starting with, I got one, two, three, four, five decks here. Couple Oracle, couple Tarot. And the Tarot decks, we begin with the Fool, the Lovers, um, and the Four of Cups. And with the Oracle decks, I'm beginning with Message with the Kipper deck, Masculine with the Twin Flame Oracle, and I have never known anyone else like you before. My feelings for you have caught me by surprise with the secret messages of love. We're going to get started. I think I'm going to use the Before the Tarot first, and that's the one that has the lovers. And I'm not going to look. I'm going to see what card comes out as most directly representing us this week. And it looks like that may have been the Hermit. Major Arcana card, the Hermit. So a lot of Major Arcana right out of the gate. Like I said, we're beginning with the Lovers and the Fool. And now we have the Hermit here. Now this Hermit is reaching for his, a star to wish upon. He hasn't yet put it inside his lantern to light things up. So he's been looking, he's been isolated, he's been looking into the stars to decide what is it that I really want. And then he figured out what he really wants, and then he reached up and grabbed a star so that he could make a wish. So he may be trying to put that in motion this week and maybe come down off his hill in pursuit, perhaps, of that thing that he wants. If not, he'll light up his lantern with that wish, with that star, and at least look into the thing or person, the object of his desire, whatever that is. Okay, now we've been left with the Six of Wands on the bottom of that deck. Okay, where the lovers had been. Behind the Six of Wands is a Four of Pentacles and the Sun, the Emperor, some the King of Cups, some really strong and positive energy. I just recorded when my daughters came in. I had to hit pause. I'm just letting you know to hit pause on exactly 2 minutes and 22 seconds. 222. But what I was starting to say, speaking of six or 222, is that we had ended up on the Six of Wands. Oh, no, I think I did tell you that. Oh, what I had started to say was that I just recorded a little while ago the Libra full moon reading, the pink moon reading, and I don't know if I'm going to post it. I may do another one. I felt so odd during that reading. I was really feeling the masculine's energy, and now to have this card here, masculine, I guess he was really trying to speak through me, but I just felt kind of heavy from him. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe I'll post it. Maybe I'll do it again. Maybe I'll post both. I don't know yet. But I said, you know what? I took a break. I watched Catfish, and then I said, let me get back to work because I do have to. I do have plans. And my phone was going off like crazy too. Um, it was blowing up, and my phone is usually dry as hell. You guys know I'm always talking about like nobody's texting me, nobody's calling me. It was definitely blowing up today. Anyway, during the reading is why I'm mentioning it. That's why I'm done. There's just got a lot going on. It was kind of weird, kind of like a weird energy. Anyway, with the other deck now, again, the Fool in the bottom of the deck. After the tarot, I'm gonna pull the card that is representative of our surrounding energy. So close friends, family members, co-workers. The phone starts again. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I apologize if you can. Um, Nine of Wands in that surrounding energy. So mates, husbands, wives, girlfriends, boyfriends, um, parents, children, our closest one-on-one relationship, seventh house type stuff. But you know what? We're those people that feeling like they don't have much more to give. They really are almost at the end. I mean, the nine of wands indicates that you're almost to the finish line because what's next? The 10 of wands and then the ace, right? A brand new beginning. And this Three of Cups that's immediately behind the Nine of Wands is indicative of not only them being at the end, but being successful when they do cross the finish line, like winning. And then there's a cause for celebration. So if you feel like giving up on something that you've been trying to manifest or that you've been working on, project, an idea, manifestation, a wish, a dream, whatever. I'm just feeling like I'm putting all this energy in and I'm not getting any outcome. Don't give up just yet. You've probably heard that before, but don't give it a shot. Actually, behind that Three of Cups is also the Six of Pentacles. So the Six of Pentacles is one of those cards where, the universe gives you a boost, gives you some help. It may, drop something out of the sky for you. Okay, so back to the other deck. We're just going to keep toggling back and forth between the two. So again, back to the before the tarot. Oh no, I didn't use the other deck. I wanted to use all three. So let's try this one. Oh, the card that it's not really a card that I keep in there just fell away. Love is beautiful in all its forms. It's really just a note from the author, but I keep it in the deck as like a card. Um, I don't know. It says something to me about like forbidden relationships or unique, atypical, unusual, non-traditional relationships. And love is love. And I love that message. All right, so this Four of Cups is what's on the bottom of the deck. And I think this really sends a strong message too. It's not the typical Four of Cups with the guy that's just ignoring the opportunities that have been handing to him. This person has taken advantage of an opportunity. They've gone out, they're hanging out with friends, spending time with people, but they're still not happy. They're not where they want to be, or with whom they want to be. And so they're really not present in that moment. The guy's in the back there, he looks very sad. He's having a drink, probably drowning some kind of sorrows. He doesn't want to be there with these people. And same thing with sis over here. She's not present. These two are the only ones that are having fun. They'd rather be somewhere else, both of them. So it could be a message for, both masculine and feminine. The feminine is being handed a cup or like a glass of champagne and not taking it. She may be depressed, and the masculine may be drinking. I've talked a couple of weeks ago. I said I was feeling like there was maybe some masculine that not only was drinking but a lot. All right, let's see. Finance, work and finance. That picture could even be like spending time with coworkers. I don't know, like speaking of work and coworkers. Okay, I thought it was one card. It's not one card, but the one that I said oop about is the Three of Pentacles, which does represent, like a worker energy. At the bottom of the deck now we have a Fool. Okay, after pulling that card. So new beginnings, maybe possibly, and of the spiritual nature, could be changing something altogether about maybe something that has to do with your work or somebody with whom you're working or a relationship maybe that you have with somebody in your work. On a more positive side, putting energy into your work. Like the Three of Pentacles is very much getting back what you put in terms of work, being compensated for your energy type of card. And we do have a Nine of Pentacles here behind this Fool. All right. But the card that fell out with the Three of Pentacles is actually the Five of Wands, and these people look like they're fighting. So maybe this is a couple that work together, or a couple that moved for work and things aren't working out. Maybe they moved, because the guy got a new job or the girl got a new job. Something's not going right. Um, and also, there's another message of somebody like moving out, moving away, maybe from the home, and maybe that affects the finances. Not necessarily your work, but your finances. So this is the placement of work and finance, and we did get these two cards that came out. Love and relationship. Um, yes, I don't know. I gotta think about that moon reading. Basically, the message was like That's too many. I'm not even gonna look at those. They fell face down anyway. Um, the message was like, ooh, okay, love and relationship. We got the King of Swords, and yeah. This King of Swords has his sword up in the air. Oh no, I'm sorry. He doesn't have his sword at all. The universe is handing it to him. I thought he wanted to fight. I thought he was like ready to be engaged in battle. He's not. He's chilling. Okay. I feel better about that for love and relationship. King of Swords. At the bottom of the deck, we also have a loosened up emperor. Right. No, normally the emperor is seated in his big concrete chair, looking very stiff and stubborn and unwilling to compromise. This one is standing up and he's got a lamb around his neck, so he's been softened up a bit. Maybe to go along with that King of Swords. This is what's now on the bottom of the deck. Behind it is the Six of Wands. So there's room for something positive to happen there. Physical health, going back in order. Ooh, yikes. Bottom of the deck now we got the Page of Wands, with the physical health card is the Devil upright. So it could be something going on with addictions, some things like drinking too much. Maybe there is something happening with depression, the young woman in the card. We'll talk more about it in a second. Last card, spiritual health. Okay. Love is beautiful in all its forms at the bottom of the deck, and the Six of Cups. Six of Cups was our spiritual health card last time, and I think from this same deck as well. So I think it does say something, as I mentioned last week, about divine counterparts, twin souls, twin flames, soulmates, whatever one wants to um, call these connections. All different kinds of connections in different forms. I'm just looking down. There's like a lot of masculine energy on this table. Even down to the young Page of Wands there. The Hermit, these two guys in the Nine of Wands, this guy in the Three of Pentacles, the Emperor, the Devil, the King of Swords, masculine on the Twin Flame Oracle. And that's what I was saying, like in that Libra moon reading, I was just feeling the masculine, the collective masculine energy so very heavy. Um, I don't know. Maybe I got to put the message out there how it is. I got to do what it is. I got to tell you what it is. Tell it like it is. Anyway, let's do this reading. So again, we have the Hermit as the card that most directly represents us. And the Hermit is also a very spiritual card. Um, I talked about the Fool being a spiritual card. The Hermit is as well. In terms of general energy, it can be about taking time to just be with oneself, maybe to learn more about oneself, what you want, what you like, what you dislike. You know, should your moment come, are you going to be ready? Do you know what it is you want from the universe? If if the universe were to ask, if God were to ask, or in a 3D sense, if somebody were to offer you um something, do you know what it is that you want to be offered? That's something that the hermit sometimes thinks about. He can be a professor for me sometimes, a lawyer. Um, perhaps not in this spread unless the King of Swords could possibly mean something in terms of legality. Been seeing a lot of divorce lately. The devil can mean something in terms of being tied down too, and maybe feeling very physically restricted. So I guess it's possible for some, but I think for the most part, this Hermit's a very, very positive card. In your work, it can mean, and maybe that's why you got the Three of Pentacles here. Um, and perhaps the Five of Wands. Maybe there's some competition. Maybe somebody else trying to take credit for your work or trying to be the standout. Whereas, you feel like you're going unnoticed, unrecognized, and the Hermit in the position of work actually says that the time, is near if it hasn't come already in the recent, past, or the time is near where you really are going to be recognized for your work. Like it's going to be very clear, and that maybe where the Six of Wands keeps popping up too, very clear um, acknowledgement of your contributions to your work or workplace or your employer. If you work for somebody else, or if you're a boss, if you run your own thing, then oh look, the Six of Wands is right behind him, right behind the Emperor. They just lit me up. They just lit me up for no reason. Okay. Um, yeah, if you're your own employer, or maybe other people work for you, you'll be seeing the fruits of your labor with that too. Maybe your company will be flourishing. If you're some sort of, I don't know, even today, what's the popular thing to be, like an influencer or something, or a creator, content creator? You're one of these people. Maybe you get a whole bunch of likes or views or whatever the terminology is these days. Um, I do want to. I'm sort of jumping ahead, but I feel like pulling a clarifier for the devil. 'Cause normally, I do like to pull a card on cards like the devil, um, the tower, just for extra information. So that devil's upright, but we did end up with thief on the bottom of the deck. Now this was upside down. It was in reverse, but there's really no reversals in this deck, so I flipped it around. Thief on the bottom of the deck. And what is the card? Oh, and two cards popped out with the devil. Message of concern and family room. Family room was also in reverse. There could be some sort of disruption within somebody's home, whether it's divorce or not. It could be attached to a physical health problem. Maybe you get a call, so and so's in the hospital, or this kind of problem. Um, this person needs rehab or therapy again because they're drinking or using drugs or something, and it might be a relative because we got family room that popped out with it. All right, so that was jumping ahead, as I said. Um, Going back to the Hermit, in terms of finances, that may or may not have anything to do with work, you want to be conservative right now. You don't want to, and that's not to say that you don't have or that you're not going to have. Again, Three of Pentacles, a very, very positive card in this placement, and Five of Wands, a card of competition in terms of work. And it looks like there is a clear winner in this case. Somebody's moving on and moving out. If there's only one job, two people fighting over it. One gets it, the other one's out completely. Um, Love and relationship. There's usually a relationship from your past that you're looking to rekindle. That the person from your past is looking to rekindle with you when the Hermit shows up. He may actually be a Virgo, or perhaps another earth sign, because we got the devil um, here. Also, that is a Capricorn. But of course, it can be any sign. It doesn't have to be. I'm just telling you what the cards mean. All right, so let's move on to the surrounding energy of the Nine of Wands, and where somebody or a couple somebodies maybe are just feeling like they have no more to give to a situation. And that could really be what it means in this context too. Um, Whether it has to do with work, you may feel like I keep doing, nobody's recognizing me. Again, go ahead and keep going because somebody is about to recognize you. If it has to do with love and relationship, you may feel like, again, I keep, and that's what was coming up in the Libra moon reading too, was that the masculine could feel that the feminine was saying, like, I can't keep doing this. Like, he needs to come now and correct, or like, I'm tired. I can't keep living this, like hamster wheel, this cycle. Um, and that's why I felt so heavy, that energy. Because the cards were beautiful, but I just couldn't help the feeling that I was getting and that it was coming from the masculine. Anyway, that could be happening with Tarot again because with the Nine of Wands, it's like saying I can't, I got about this much left in me before, you know. And again, with the other cards that we've seen here, go ahead and continue to give that little bit that you feel like you have left because the end is so near and the outcome is so positive. If you do so, wherever this is showing up, whatever area of your life this is showing up, and you're feeling like giving up, the idea is not to. Um, So similarly with these cards, again, for the Three of Pentacles, this card can really mean, it can be one of those your ship is about to come in kind of cards. You're about to make it big in terms of finances, and in terms of work. Again, it can mean that your work is or does mean that your work is very much appreciated, and you should be compensated for that work. Like wherever you're putting these efforts in, you should be getting the returns on that. And if you don't feel like you're getting them yet, or you're not getting them yet, again, very, very soon, you are going to get the appropriate recognition. Um, the Five of Wands can not only be representative of competition at work, maybe over a particular position, especially if one is unemployed or underemployed and you're fighting over a particular opportunity. That can be why this Five of Wands is showing up. Or there can also be tension, some sort of tension at the job, and that would make sense with the Nine of Wands and your surrounding energy, as well as the Hermit in our primary energy, and a need to feel like we need to pull back, our own energy, maybe isolate ourselves, protect ourselves, put ourselves in a bubble, if that's what's happening, or perhaps hit the bottle, hit the glass. If we feel like I'm busting my ass, I'm not getting recognized, I haven't gotten the promotion, or I don't think I'm gonna win the one slot that's open, you know let me get a drink, let me be depressed. Um, but again, that energy is nearing an end. Okay, things are about to get a lot better. If you're not seeing it already with the Three of Pentacles in this place. Love and relationship, the King of Swords, who may, of course, actually be a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. I almost said, let me show you the card. Again, I want you to notice that his knife, his sword, he's not armed. Okay, so this guy, he's down to have a conversation. And maybe he too was feeling sort of down and out, like I don't have it in me anymore. In the universe, or the hand of God even had to come and say, like, here's your sword. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, get up. You're the King of Swords. What, take your sword. Um, King Swords is typically very opinionated, very manly, very, very, very heavily masculine. Walks the line between, decent and toxic, you know, masculine. Like he can go over to where it's too much. Um, you know, so many of us are waiting for this type though, like the type to just, metaphorically like throw you over his shoulder and just come and get you and pick you up and throw you and take you home. Um, And I think a lot of masculine don't realize that. Like they're somewhere being the hermit, trying to figure out, and how do I come in? I got a plan, I gotta be strategic. Not really. You just gotta take action. Like a man, like a masculine energy would. You just gotta do it. You just gotta let the feminine know how you feel. Um, you know, about her. And that's all she wants. So the King of Swords is really the perfect energy, or one of the most Hertzic energies with which to do this because it requires the feminine to in turn lean into her feminine side because you can't both come at each other, with that strong masculine energy. Then it's not going to work. You're going to like propel each other. She has to, um, she's interested in being with you again. You're going to be the strong, opinionated one, and you're flexible to a very small point. Mostly not flexible, mostly immovable. But again, remember we have This week we have the emperor who's even standing up and holding a lamb, so willing to do some compromising, although otherwise remaining firm. So the feminine needs to lean into that feminine energy. She can't come at you also with a strong masculine energy, because if we do that, it's not going to work out. But this week, we could really have a masculine, um, thankfully for many of us, coming in with his strong energy, with some honesty, with some clarity. This is what we're doing. Or this is what I want us to do. This is what I, want from you. This is what I want with you. Um, just putting it out there in a very strong, um, and clear way, where there's no confusion. Like, I'm still not sure what exactly he wants us to do or what exactly we're doing, you know, and you feel like you got to ask. He's going to make sure that you don't have to ask him what we're doing. You don't know what you're doing. So that takes us to physical health and the devil. And one of the things that you're going to have to watch out for with this devil is being sort of, overworked. Um, the Nine of Wands and the Five of Wands that we saw in the position of work and finance. Like, just overstressed. You might need a break. You might need to be the hermit just to protect your energy, actually. Or you might need to lean into the spiritual energy, maybe spend some time with a loved one, Six of Cups, somebody that makes you feel good, whether from your past or not, um, to keep your blood pressure down and stuff. There's a sense of just working too hard and being stressed out and not having much fun. Remember the guy in the picture? They were out. He was with friends. They were all supposed to be having fun. They're having drinks and stuff, and he looked miserable. This is about protecting your health by yeah, maybe just taking a break, whether it's by yourself or with a loved one, doing something that makes you feel good, and that relieves some of the stress. So exercise and stuff can help too. Like endorphins, right? Endorphins make people happy. So people work out and they get all hyped up, and the endorphins get going, and then next thing you know, they have a more pleasant demeanor, and the heart rate is better, and blood pressure is better, pulse is better, just from working out in some kind of way. I already talked about addictions and stuff like that, in terms of what the devil can mean there. And we did also pull some clarifiers. Remember, we had that message of concern in the family room in reverse. And so something happening in terms of a family dynamic, maybe, or again with a family member. It could involve actual theft or loss, having, or at least a metaphoric sense of somebody having taken something from you, costing you money, costing you time, energy, something of value to you, and that affects your stress level or your health in another way. So, be aware of that possible scenario this week. And as I told you last week, the Six of Cups on the placement of spirituality is about rituals and things maybe that make us feel good, or that have been they just naturally like improve your spiritual health and maybe even your physical health. Um, by doing them. It could be something from your past, something from your childhood. I posted a memory on my Facebook today, and it was about the day, like today was apparently the anniversary of the day that at 17 years old, my daughter had her first Lunchable. I never allowed my children to eat like those kind of processed foods because I wasn't allowed to eat them. I was raised, um, I can't say very indigenous because I didn't grow up on a reservation or anything, but um, in my house, the way that my mother took care of us, I mean, we she gave us a bunch of oils and herbs and stuff, oil of oregano, cod liver oil, and this and all kinds of nasty stuff. We weren't allowed to have a microwave in our house. To this day, like grown, my mother would still be annoyed that I have a microwave. Like, I wish you would get rid of this thing. So that's how I was raised. So I wasn't as strict as my mom, but I did a lot of it. Um, and going back to some of those things, like going back to the days where you didn't eat processed food, going back to the days where you took you used herbs, you drank teas, you took oils, and you used them in a certain way. Those things maybe could improve your spiritual health. Or in this case, my spiritual health, right? If I went back to some of those things. I was talking to a friend the other day, um, one of my best friends, actually, my best friend, my BFF from high school. So we've been friends since we were like 14. And we were both talking about how we had just like not been eating much by day. Like just I was like, I didn't eat until like 7 o'clock tonight. She's like, I've been doing that too, and I'm like, it's not on purpose. Like I haven't been trying to do it. It's just been working out that way that I've like been like so busy, by day, and then I'm finally eating something, in the evening. And then she said, well, maybe it's fasting. I'm like, maybe it is Ramadan. I think that was one of the things that I mentioned last week. I'm like, it's Ramadan, it's Passover, it's Lent, so these are excuses kind of and or reasons um really to not eat all by day, to maybe only eat at night. um so that could be something that somebody intentionally does as a ritual. She's an Ifa chieftain, so don't have the same practices, but we're friends nonetheless. Okay, so I just got in the mood to pull a clarifier for um the Six of Cups, and we got married. And I am feeling that somebody, or some of us, could really be feeling sort of like a longing for this person to whom we feel sort of spiritually married, and as divine beings tend to do. We do have distant horizons now at the bottom of the deck, and it's sort of giving me world slash three of wands. That something's coming in. So I also feel like this six of cups does have something to do with oh, the marriage card is a number three as well. I was saying three of wands, and yeah, I do feel like the six of cups and the placement of spirituality has something to do with connecting to the divine partner too. And that again, that for some of us, the physical health card, the devil, has something to do with disconnecting from maybe something or someone, whether it's a direct relationship, a mate that we had a bad relationship with, or somebody else that was involving themselves in our relationship that has caused stress and restriction. Um, so I think it's about disengaging with those people and negativity, and maybe engaging with positivity and a soulmate if one so has the opportunity to do that. Even if the relationship doesn't look um, maybe like it should to other people. Again, remember, love is beautiful in all forms. So I think that may be the case. Like some of us may have had somebody in our ear, or maybe even more restrictive over us, wielding, and having more power over us, like a parent, or a mother, a father, and you listen. Even if you're grown, sometimes you'll listen to these things, and they can keep you, or they can keep you from your destiny. Um, Although that's not really, that shouldn't be a parent's place, but they can. And so I don't know. I don't want to go on and on about this, but I'm just getting something with that, and so that's definitely for somebody. Let's take some oracle messages now in general for the week. Again, we're beginning with masculine on the bottom of the twin flame oracle. Okay, it says that your masculine's looking for you this week. Or at least energetically, he wants to connect. Home. Okay, that's the kind of thing that I was sort of thinking and feeling with the Six of Cups. Like somebody wants to feel more at home. So they need to connect with somebody that makes them feel happy, and that with whom they have good memories, or they feel like they can make good memories. This home card says cozy, warm, secure. You feel at home with each other. And that's exactly what I was trying to say. At the bottom of the deck, we have release. So again, letting go of those people, places, and things that would, or have been holding us back from our destinies. Loosen your hold. You too. It's like you have to also release. I was hearing that song so much by In Vogue. No matter what station I went to, it was on like my kids' pop station, my like R&B station or old school station or hip hop. Everybody was playing it. What's it gonna be? Because I can't pretend. Don't you want to be more than friends? Hold me tight and don't let go. You have the right to lose control. Like some people feel like they don't have the right to lose control. Like the King of Swords, he feels like he doesn't have the right to lose control. He has to remain, you know, in this like sort of leadership and position, and he can't loosen up. He can't be caught slipping. But he also has the right to lose control, or you do. You Kings of Swords out there. Anybody with those mannerisms. So release. And yes, and this too, I came this close to posting the other day. The answer is yes, or my answer is yes, or something, and I didn't know what the question was, but I just felt like I needed to say yes. The answer is yes. It was something weird, and I refrained from doing it, um, because again, I didn't know what the question was, or even if there was a question, but I felt very strongly that I needed to say the answer is yes, and now the card says it. And then if they'll let me show it to you, they won't. The answer to your question is yes, is what it says though, the bottom. I was just trying to let you read it yourself, but there we go. There we go. And at the bottom of the deck, we have Sacred Journey. Understand who you truly are. The journey brings self discovery. The red car may mean something for somebody. Um, so that was the Twin Flame Oracle. Now we got the Secret Messages of Love. I'll move these out of the way. So maybe I will post that reading. I feel like they may kind of go together. I don't know. There's one. There's two. And I got four, it looks like, instead of the three I was trying to get. Yep. Please forgive me for letting you go. I was a fool, and now I want you back. Can we start over and have a fresh new beginning? So the Fool is about new beginnings, and we did see the Fool tonight. So I think the answer is yes. The answer is yes. We can start over and have a new beginning. Even though we're going through a rough patch, my feelings for you haven't changed. Things will get better, I promise. That rough patch could be that Nine of Wands or even the Five of Wands that we saw. Even the Devil. They're saying things are going to get better. I stare at your picture a lot. You are so beautiful. Spoil be my DM, say I'm pretty. I have a lot of fears and I'm not ready for a relationship. And people don't realize that's okay too. Like you could be not ready for a relationship and still come back into contact. There's stages, baby steps. Or not. I mean, you can do it anyway. That's the beauty of love is beautiful in all its forms. I mean, because some people can just come back into contact and say, like, let's get married right now without all the other stuff. Like, you've been miserable without me. I've been miserable without you. We both know it. We both know that we're in love. Why do we have to go through the exercises again? Let's just be together right now. Like, and we can figure out the rest later. And then for some people, yeah, they're gonna need to take baby steps and take their time and you know go through all the motions and stuff, and that's cool too. And maybe you want to do that without a commitment. That's cool too. You know, you don't have to be in a relationship or a traditional relationship, at least. And I say that because I just feel like pretty much anything, that you have between you and another person is a relationship of some sort. So this doesn't have to be committed. Anyway, what just flipped over here? We got great fortune, wealthy man. Those two go together nicely. At the bottom of the deck right now, coffin. So somebody may get some money from an inheritance or something from an estate, or something like that. Great fortune and wealthy man. Oh, whoa. Okay, occupation and expectation and falling on the floor. So they may mean something, in terms of maybe like expecting a job, expecting a raise. The last card to come out, joining great fortune and wealthy man, is toil and labor. So maybe becoming, receiving a fortune, an increase, again, that recognition, maybe in the form of a raise or promotion or a new job, come in. But yeah, it's gonna involve some work or directly correlates to your work. Toil, labor, you put the effort in, and that's from where the great fortune and everything comes. And now we have main male at the bottom of the deck. Did I do all the oracle cards? Think I did. So on that note, I will bid you guys adieu. Namaste.